How's it going, guys? Welcome back to part 2 of looking at your Mac gaming setups. If you're not familiar with what this new type of show that I'm doing is about, well, basically, you guys submit your Mac setup photos on our Discord server, and I collect them and just show them in a video and react to them, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, let's have a look at some of your setups over on my iMac. Let's get to it. Okay, so how I'm going to do this is I'm going to go by alphabetical order. So if your name starts with A, you'll be towards the top of the list. If your name starts with Z, you'll be towards the bottom. Now, I did this last episode and it just works for me. That's just how it is. If you don't like it, I can't do anything about it. But yes, also, side note, this has no water in it and I'm really thirsty, so I'm going to get some water. Okay, sorry about that. I get really thirsty. Okay, the first person is Dat9. Dat9 has a MacBook Pro Retina 13-inch early 2015 edition. Oh yes, so this guy's got a really simple setup. This is my simple setup, he said. And yes, it is pretty simple, but it gets the job done. You've got some type of wireless headset there, a gaming mouse, and I believe that your MacBook has a black case around it, which is probably the case, but that's great. Next person is Default George. Side note, there are lots of planes that go over my house at this time of the day, so if you hear them, which I don't know if you will, I do apologize, but I can't do anything about that, okay? Anyways, Default George has a Retina 4K iMac from 2017. That's right, your photo is a little bit blurry. That's okay, we can work with this. Okay, you sent in your peripherals. You've got a Logitech G502 keyboard, which is really popular, and a Blue Snowball black microphone, which I also used to use. They are really good for talking with friends or making YouTube videos, and you've got an Xbox stereo headset, but you also record Fortnite gameplay on the Xbox One S with the Elgato HD60S, which you connect to your Mac. And that's cool. I also have the Elgato that I actually record my Mac screen with. It's a really complicated setup, but it works wonders. The next person, which is Flacco. You've got a Retina 4K iMac from 2017. You guys are really loving the 4K iMacs this time, which is different to the first episode, which I believe only had one. You've got 2 photos. Oh yes, you sent me a whole list of details on your setup, so thank you. You've got a Razer Black Widow Ultimate Gaming Keyboard, a SteelSeries Rival 110 gaming mouse, and a Reflux Lab large extended gaming mouse mat. How good are gaming mouse mats? So much breathing room for the mouse. And you also have an Audio Technica headphones. Now this guy has a pretty high-end Mac, and he said he plays games like Fortnite on I think low to medium settings and at 2K resolution, and games like CSGO, he gets like 100 to 230 FPS, and he can play on like high settings. And yes, that also applies to like other less graphic intensive games. I love it. I love the red light there in the background in one of your photos. In this photo it's purple, in this one it's red. Cool, let's move on. The next person is Hermoine Granger, and that's really funny. Hermoine Granger. I don't know if that was an accident or on purpose, but regardless, it's quite funny. Hermoine Granger has a MacBook Pro Retina 13-inch early 2015 edition. Yes, Hermoine has you have a Logitech G810 Orion Spectrum and a Logitech G402 Hyperion Furry. I don't know if I've said those correctly, but cool. Pretty simple setup, but as per usual, it gets the job done. But yes, let's move on. Thank you, Hermoine. The next person is Gerard Robert 00. I don't know if I pronounced your name correctly. This guy has a MacBook 13-inch mid-2010 edition. This is actually the same MacBook that I have. Your setup is placed underneath your loft bed. Now, fun fact, I think here in Australia it's called a bunk bed, because I had a bunk bed when I was like 10 or something, and I also had a computer set underneath the bunk bed. You've got your MacBook there set up on some type of stand that is connected to an LG monitor. Really cool. I love it, dude. Let's move on. The next person is Kayakao. Kayakao has the first 5K iMac that we're going to see on the list. 5K iMac from 2017. That's right, you've got this really hilarious wallpaper, which we'll come back to in just a second. But you've got an old Dell laptop hooked up that you mainly use for playing music and watching videos, and your iMac is where the magic happens. Now, you've got a pretty good iMac with a Radeon Pro 580 with 8 gigs of VRAM, so that really is going to work a treat for you. And you said you can play most games at 60 FPS in the highest preset, like Ultra. And if I do get lucky, I can game in 1440p or even 4K at 60 FPS. And then you said, PS, I made the wallpaper just for this. Please put me in. Well, you're in. It's really funny. It says, breaking news, Despicado 69 confirmed by Bill of the Gates. I love how you've got a sticky note there that says MacBook, that you've just written on it. That's really funny. The next person is Musically. Musically has a MacBook Pro 13-inch mid-2012 edition. You've got a custom-made wallpaper there that says My Gaming Setup. And then you've got a Minions figure there, which is lit up. And you've got a gaming mouse and keyboard. I don't know the names, but that mouse is really cool. It's got like a lit up back. What is that actually lying on? Is it a bed, a carpet, a couch? I'm not sure. Let me know. I can't actually make it out, but we'll have to move on. The next person is Pobe. Pobe has 2 Macs, but I think you only sent me the specs of one of your Macs. You've got a Retina 5K iMac from 2017. You've got a really nice setup, dude. It's really clean. You're playing World of Warcraft, and you've got a gaming mouse mat, and you've got your other MacBook Pro in the background there. You've got lots of little figures everywhere, and I think that's a speaker there, and you've got a gaming mouse. Oh, and your monitor is actually a curved Samsung monitor. I don't know the exact name. I think it's a 60 Hz monitor as well. Yes, let's move on. The next person is Red_35. Red has a MacBook Air 13-inch early 2015 edition. Now this guy really loves red, and he said, is it obvious that I like the color red? Yes, it is. I love the X-Wing ship in the background there from Star Wars, and I love the red keyboard, and you also have a PlayStation 1 console there, so that's really cool, and some figures there. Nice, we'll have to move on. The next person is Rhino Zero. Rhino has a Retina 4K iMac from 2017. There sure are a lot of 4K iMacs this time, which is good. You have your iMac set up on a very nice wooden desk, and this looks like it might be your study and gaming place that you use. And you've got, I think, a very interesting headset there that's probably maybe wireless, but it looks like it's like there's like lightning inside of that enclosure. It's really weird. It's like lit up. That's cool. And then you've got some type of gaming keyboard and mouse, and a huge mouse mat that's RGB lit. Next we have Starkiller 926. Thirsty. Choked on the water. Okay, you have a MacBook Pro 15-inch from mid-2012. Let's see. Okay, you sent me the gear you have. A Razer Death Adder Elite for the mouse, a PlayStation Eye as the microphone, which is really interesting, and an Amazon Basic earbuds as headphones. I love the use of the PlayStation Eye as a microphone. That's really nice. I think that's either Zelda or Link there. I don't know. I'm probably wrong, but yes, It's a nice simple setup. Let's move on. The next person is Total Legitimate. Now you might remember that he also submitted in the first episode, but he's back with an update apparently. Let's get a refresh on what his specs are. A MacBook Pro Retina 13-inch from early 2015. So you said, setup update, new wallpaper with headphones, which I think are Bose, and you've got no controller this time, and a new bedsheet. That's basically it. The next person is What Up. What Up has two Macs. The first one is an iMac 27-inch from late 2009, and the next one is a MacBook Pro 15-inch from 2017. You sent a list of the things that are around. So this is your school and game setup. Your headphones are Kingston HyperX Cloud 2 Pro, and the mouse is Rocket Cone Per, and the iPad is, you think, a 10.3-inch iPad Pro with an iPad keyboard. Now the second photo shows the iPad there with a keyboard, and you can see all those books in the background there. A nice school and game setup. Let's move on. The next person is Who's Ez? I don't know who's Ez is. Who's Ez has a MacBook Pro 13-inch from mid-2012. There are a lot of 2012... Ow, my foot just cracked. Ow. There are a lot of 2012 MacBook Pros in this video, so it's really cool. Okay, let's see your post. Who's Ez said that he runs CSGO on this machine. He runs it at low 20 to 30 FPS. Now, that isn't amazing, but for a relatively old machine, that's pretty good. CSGO is really well optimized for old Macs, and you can see it's working in this one. I don't know any of the names of your accessories, but you've got some type of wired headset there, and a very interesting microphone there, which is on like some type of like three-legged stand, like a spider sprouting out. The last person is a very peculiar name, which is SY Dizzy IK. Dizzy has a Mac Pro from mid-2010. This is the only Mac Pro on today's video. It's a stupid dog barking next door, and I hope you can't hear it because that dog is annoying. Where is your details? So you've got, oh my gosh, I don't know if you can hear that dog, but we'll have to close the door. It's like this really small little dog that just has the most aggravating bark that you can imagine. And anyways, so this guy has a Logitech G300 and an AZI mechanical keyboard, and he plans on switching out the caps pretty soon. I think that means the caps in your keyboard. What is the reason though for switching out the caps? I plan on switching out the caps pretty soon. And you have a Radeon RX 580, 4GB of VRAM that you got from a gaming PC, but I've since abandoned and given away the parts. Nobody wanted the graphics card, so I kept it and put it inside my Mac despite it not being flashed. Works like a charm though, and works with metal supported games. I love the Dragon Ball Z wallpaper there. I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z for a long time, but it was a great show. Look, that's about all the setups we have. I'll count them. We have 16 setups that you guys submitted, so that's nice. That's great, guys. Thank you very much for all your submissions. I have loved looking through them. If you guys want a part 3, it is most likely coming your way, but not for a few months. I will reopen the Mac setups page so you guys can submit more setups, or even submit your updated setups. If you've already submitted, you can submit them again with some updates. But yes, thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in part 3 sometime in the near future, or in the next video, which will probably be in a few days. Yes, thank you guys for watching. Talk to you later. Bye bye. How do I end this? Bye.